Okay, well I'm going to attempt to do a portfolio along the same lines as the ones that Serge Reynolds makes, because he's my mentor, and I've got a few differences, not many. There's things that he does that I can't really afford to do because he uses large amounts of paper and I can't afford that, so I've tried to figure out some way I can make it smaller and cheaper. But anyway, everything I do is on this little tabletop here, which you can see isn't very large, and that board is about 2 foot by about 2 foot by about 2.5, that's all. And it's grey board, and it's 2mm grey board, and I'm going to make another one of these boxes, which I've made this one already, and it was okay, but I wasn't really satisfied with it. So, and he was doing lots of them, so I thought, well, if he could do lots of them, I could do more than one at a time. And so this is what the idea is that we're going to make, with a couple of ribbons on, and I might do a white inside because I think that I didn't have a large enough piece of white paper, but now I've got some A3 paper which I might try and put on the inside, and I've got some cartridge paper which will help. And I found this, I used Arcos paper and Buckram, well it's not Buckram, it's like a paper chemise or something, and I found it chemise or something from Ratsford's in Chester, which is where I buy everything, and I found it was too heavy. But anyway, I digress. You can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a little portfolio like this, and they're all going to be the same size. So what I'm doing is making the cuttings for a book this size to put sort of A4 sheets of paper inside. So if you want to do any bigger, you'll have to extend the things yourselves. This is just for me because I'm never going to put anything bigger than, I suppose, A4 bits of paper in, which I use quite a lot. And the ones I'm making are for my granddaughter, so I'll probably never ever make another one. So she'll only need one of these, or maybe two, so I'll probably only do two. So, and it's not something I really enjoy making. But anyway, I'm gonna make a copy of one. I'll just put it out of the way for the minute. And what I've done to start with is, on my card, I've marked out straight away with a ruler 8 14/16, and I've made a little mark, and then I've gone 8 4/16 and made another little mark and drawn a line down, and then I've gone, the height of the book is 12 by 12/16, and that will fit, the papers will fit inside there nicely. I'll just get a piece of, I should have got this already really, just bear with me. I can't get one, so I've got several. Sorry about that. And you can see roughly there's enough room all the way around it, because some of the card will go, some of the new card we're going to make for the flats will go underneath this, so there's enough room all the way around with a 2mm edge all the way around for your coverings and etc. And we're going to do two pieces of that, exactly the same, so the cuttings will be exactly, I'll show you the measurements again. So I'll just cut the second piece, and then the centre fold of the book, which is this piece, is not there, it's non-existent actually for this here. You can see there. I'm going to make a piece 12/16 wide by 12 and 12/16 long. So you can see all I'm doing is adding, I've added a 12/16 on the end of this. So it's quite easy to cut, there's no problem on this bit is no problem. It's because it's so big I found it difficult to glue up and things. I haven't done anything this big before, not this size. And it makes little complications for you, believe it or not, like this for me. I don't know, maybe it doesn't for anybody else, but I start to get out of my depth. And I did start to make a template out of card for the flaps, but that'll go into later on. Anyway, so that's as far as I've got, and I'll cut that out and then we'll carry on from there. Okay, well, I've cut the boards 8 and 14/16 by 12 by 12/16, and the centerpiece, which is 12 and 12/8 by 12/16 in width. And the centerpiece is, as I said, is I've got the rulers on to make sure everything's square, because it will stand out if they're not square, so you must ensure that things are square. And if you haven't cut it correctly, now's the time to cut it square. And if you've got a set square, that's the thing to use if you can afford one, or any straight edge will do, it doesn't make any difference. And I've got the 3 pieces there now, and this piece will be, well, I don't discard it because I use it for the next ones. That's what I'm going to use it for the next ones anyway, as a template. And those are the 3 pieces cut anyway. And now we're ready to go on to the next stage. Okay, to carry on then, well, this portfolio, as you know, is being made to carry just A4 pieces of paper, which is standard. It's only for my granddaughter, that's the only reason I'm making one, and I thought I'd make a little video of it. So you can see that that's one side of the case, and it just fits around. I've gone into the measurements for that already, and what I've done at the moment is I've cut 2 pieces of the backing, whatever you can use, paper or Buckram, or I'm using Rexine here, which I get from Ratchford's in Chester. You can get it from Shepherd's or anybody else you like, but you can use leather, I suppose. You can use anything you want. You can use a cloth if you want, covered in paper, all sorts of things, whatever. For the purists, I've got the measurements down because I'm only going to make 1 or 2 of these again, I suppose. I'm not going to make a lot of these. I haven't got a lot of core for them. And I've cut one piece out of the thing already. I've already done the cutting, so, and it's 3.5 by 12.5, and I'm cut that, and that's for the piece that goes down the centre, to cover up the centre of the board, and it's just short by about 1/8 of an inch at each end, just shy each end, about 1/8 of an inch. And then I've got, as the base, I'll take the centrepiece out, I've got 5.5 or 5 8/16 and 4 2/16, and that's just the length of the card, with just a little bit more than 1/2 an inch at the ends, so as I can turn them over. And you can see that the bits all fit together like so. So once I've glued that up, I'm sorry I keep going out of shot, it's one hand again. So what I'm going to do next is to put the board together, take the centrepiece out, glue up, a little bit out there, glue up, and then put the centrepiece in afterwards. So it's as simple as that. There's nothing to this, it's just like making a book really. And the measurements that I've got are just to save myself making, for the next time I just cut the board to the measurements, and I cut the paper to the measurements, and the centerpieces to the measurements, and I'm okay if I ever make another one. Anyway, I'll stop there and we'll go on to the next bit in a minute. Okay, well, I've done, from the last little bit I did, I've done a couple of little bits, And what I've done, I've put a centre line. It's 12 16ths, this. So what I've done, I put 6, gone halfway and gone 6 16ths. And then if you get hold of the piece of material you're using, it's very, I've only got one hand again, I keep doing this, but you fold the thing in half and just nip it at the top, and where the nip is, just make a mark, a little line. I've got a white chalk here, you can use a pen. I'm only doing this so you can see it, but you could do it with a pen if you wanted to, and this is black. And what you do then is to make sure that you've got a ½ inch at the top approximately and a ½ inch at the bottom. And they're lined up within reason. And then you can glue up then, stick your centrepiece in, and then you can follow the centrepiece with the side bits, because you know that the side bits are going to fit exactly. So glue in the centrepiece first, then put the side bits on up to so it fits up to it once it's stuck down, and the other side. I'd love a cameraman. I'm rubbish at camera work. And then put the other side on, line everything up so it's absolutely accurate, or as good as you can get it. And I do little lines across. I find that helps, especially because that's where you're looking normally, in the middle. And you'll find you've got the little flaps at the top and bottom, and you know it's dead centre then, because it's important that you get these two bits exactly right, otherwise you're going to have to start cutting pieces off, which you don't really want to do. And I found with this method, even Sage Reynolds, I watched him and he had to cut a piece off. So if you do it like this, you'll find you don't have to cut anything off, because it's accurately spaced either side, unless it's leather and you pull it or whatever. So try not to pull anything, and then just glue it down, stick it on, and then once it's stuck down, just remove the centrepiece, because you don't need that anymore, you're not going to use that anymore. And then turn it over, which I can't do at the moment obviously, and then press your bits in so it sticks at the sides here with your bone folder. And then after that, all you have to do is to do the same with this one, but on the reverse side, because you need the piece with the material with it. If you've got anything on the outside, or paper or colouring or whatever, it needs to go on this side, so you're going to have to do a little mark on it. And I suggest you use something that you can take off just to line up, and there you'll find you're absolutely accurate on that one. You glue that one down centre first, and then I'll just see if I can get this on before it moves. It'll probably move out of the way. Yeah, I can't. And don't forget, this needs to be just less than the top. So once you've folded them two ends over, you put this piece on and you line it up accurately with the lines that you've got from there. And these should be lined up exactly then. Obviously, I mean, once this has been folded over, you'd need to make another little mark on the centre of 6/8, because that's 12/8 across, isn't it? So you'd have to make another little mark and then mark that. So it's as simple as that. It's not a difficult thing to do, but I'm going to glue up now, because this is so easy. I'm sure everybody's seen us. I'll glue up and I'll show you what happens once it's all glued up, and it should go in perfectly, hopefully. Okay, well, I glued it up, and I'm going to remove the centre board now, because we don't need that. Not wanted anymore. Put that in a safe place so it doesn't stick anything else up. And then what we have to do now is to turn these ends over best as we can. It's quite difficult with one hand. I'm trying to show you with one hand again. And the bottom end, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Turn it over. Yeah, it's fallen to. I can't work with one hand, so I'm going to have to set it all up and then show you what I've done when I finish. Well, I've glued up the piece for the centre now. I've done the outsides, and I've put them and they're glued in nicely. And I'm going to use the centre piece now and take it off the board. Oh, it's terrible with one hand. This, it really is. Oh, oh. And what I'm going to do now is try and mess everything up by placing this on. But I wanted to show you this because this is one of the important bits. There's a special little thing you've got to do. So I'm going to try and line it up and do my best. Right at the top, and don't forget we want to be a little bit down, equal at each end. And what we do is just press the middle in. Don't press the outsides in just yet. Just press the middle in. I'm trying to do this and keep you sighted. Make sure you leave that little gap at the end. Yeah, I'll press the sides in. Anyway, you see what I was trying to do? I'm trying to press the centre in before I press the outsides in, but I'm going to have to stop because this is just not behaving. It's not going to go down because this is a material and the material takes a long time to dry. So you can see what I was trying to press the middle in. On cloth it'll probably work a lot, not cloth, on paper it'll probably work a lot quicker. But this just isn't drying up quick enough for me to show you what I'm trying to do, and I've only got one hand, so I'm going to have to stop and then glue it in and then show you what I've done.